The RoadCraft demo is out now, and let's start with this question. Did I enjoy my time playing that RoadCraft demo? I absolutely did. There wasn't many missions to complete in this demo, which is understandable, but I had a good time completing those couple of missions. Now, based on this demo, do I think RoadCraft is a good game? Well, I'm not gonna answer that right now. I'm gonna answer that at the end of the video. For now, let's talk about the things I really liked about this game, especially this one. This one is my number one. I loved it about RoadCraft. The overall freedom you have in this game is amazing, especially in one scenario. When you want to build a road or a bridge or something like that, everything comes down to you. You get to choose how much you want to make this map easier. For example, there was parts of the map that I built my own road. I just connected these parts of the map together and built my road with the sand, which was so good. In another scenario, I built a wider road. So I was like, so if you want a road to be wider, you're like, no, I don't like a narrow road. It's not good for my trucks or something like that. You can spend more time and go for even wider roads. Or even the roads you build, you don't always need to do the whole thing. You can have some sand on that area and just flatten that sand with the bulldozer and just stick with the sand roads. You don't need to use the asphalt or things like that. It just comes down to you unless it's objective and you need to do the whole thing. That's a different thing. But if there are parts of the map that you think it's a bit too rough, you get to choose how to fix that or just leave it like that. Even for the muddy roads, you can have the sand on top of the mud and flatten that sand with the bulldozer and again, create a better road. So it all comes down to you basically. Even for the bridges, you get to choose what type of a bridge you want. And kind of the same thing goes for the cargos too, which I really liked. So when you want to pack cargos on your truck, you don't really have the normal packing thing that we have in a SnowRunner in this game. Instead, we have the strap cargo mechanic. But the difference is the way the cargo is positioned on your truck is the way you strap the cargo. It's not going to change at all. So this mechanic lets you to be very creative with the way you put the cargo on your truck and strap it, which I personally really liked. But there is a downside to it, which I get to it in a sec. Another thing that I really liked about this game is the environment. The environment of this game is absolutely fantastic. The water, the mud or the sand, all of them look really good, especially when you're driving through them. It's really amazing. And the world of RoadCraft looks really good. It looks alive. And the handling of your trucks and scouts when you're driving fast is way better than a SnowRunner. One last thing that I really liked about this game is the map. The map view is absolutely amazing. It's very detailed and it looks beautiful, and the changes you make in the world, you can easily see them in the map, like your sand roads or even your tire marks, which is fantastic. I really love the map in this game. Now, a couple of things that I didn't like. Let's start with the small ones. The UI is very bad. I just don't like the UI. It's very confusing. Some of the cargos and things around the map feel weightless. It's like they are made out of plastic, or the gravity is not doing what it's supposed to do. The transmission system is bad. It's just bad, especially when you're driving trucks and scouts. Sometimes there's a delay before you go forward. It's like the transmission is thinking, do I need to go forward? Do I need to go back? Should I brake? It's like it's spending too much time processing. Now, something that I want to mention is the lack of fuel consumption mechanic. To be honest, I'm actually okay with that. I am personally okay with not being worried about fuel in this game, but I know so many people love to see the fuel consumption mechanic in this game, so maybe there could be a mode where fuel consumption is turned on. This game is mostly about construction of the roads and bridges and paths, and transportation is not the main focus of this game. So maybe that's why they thought the fuel thing should not exist in this game, but I think there should be an option for that. So if you like to have that fuel consumption mechanic in the game, you should be able to do that. Now, something else that I want to say that is kind of related to the fuel system is the fact that this game is extremely time consuming. Like one mission could take an hour to complete. Things are very time consuming in this game. And imagine on top of that, you need to be worried about your fuel too. So it would make the game even more time consuming. And I think that's why the fuel system doesn't exist. And there are some kind of very arcadey mechanics like the magic sand system in this game too. For refilling your dump truck with sand, you just need to be in the radius of your sand quarry and you press a button and just sand appears from nowhere. So my opinion is, because they didn't want to make one mission like 3 hours long, they kind of eliminated the fuel system and came up with this sand thing to make the game a bit less time consuming. But one thing I want to say, I am pretty sure this game feels way better when you play with other people. I think this game shines the most when you're playing with other people. With other people, the game is less time consuming, it's more fun, and I think it even keeps the gameplay of this game fresh. Now, the thing I hated the most in this game, and I really mean it, I hated this mechanic, this thing in this game. The crane control in this game is awful. Like, I just hate it. The stationary grab crane is actually really good. Controlling that thing is good. I have no problems with that one. But the normal cranes that you have with your trucks, it's awful. Like, it's just bad. It's just bad. I don't like it at all. I hope they just change it for the actual game. I don't know, is it easier to control that crane with a controller, but with mouse and keyboard, it's a disaster. Now, something else that I didn't really understand, which is not a big deal, is when you first get into a map, there are like clouds covering the map. So you have to explore the map a bit to figure out where you need to go and where are the roads and things like that. I think you should be able to see everything on the map since the very beginning. Like, let's say you went to another country to do the road construction jobs and things like that, right? The least they can do is to give you a map so you have an idea of where things are. Or you can just use Google Maps. Like, I just don't understand why the map is covered with clouds and you need to explore it. I'm here to work, so give me a map. Like, that's the least you can do. Now, based on the demo of RoadCraft, do I think this game could be good? I'm actually not sure. Based on this demo, I wouldn't call RoadCraft a good game. I feel like the gameplay of this game could get a bit repetitive very easy. I'm not sure about it, and I'm not gonna get into it right now. Maybe I make a video about it, maybe I'm not sure. But I feel like the gameplay could get a bit repetitive. Other than that, the vehicles are kind of fun to play. The freedom you have when it comes to building roads is really good. And the environment, of course, is amazing. That's it for today's video. I see you in the next one.